Hello everyone, Valdestott's voice here once again, and this will be part 5 of the series, my new gig I swore I would never do for the instructional series. So let's begin. Here are the final comparisons. The Uber and Lyft numbers are after 3 weeks as I stated before, which company has the better benefits for the drivers based on their tiers, who has fairer rules between the two apps, is rideshare worth doing short or long term, and lastly, Lyft and possibly Uber later on, ending the 55-cent fuel surcharge to drivers for every trip. Lyft has done it. They basically are stating that it's going to end on September 28th of this month. We'll see what Uber does because usually they go hand in hand. So it's big news for drivers because it adds up to pay for gas. So as you can see in the next slide, the fuel surcharge change is coming on September 28th. The temporary 55-cent rider fuel surcharge ends on the 28th of September. And they say, we know fuel costs still matter to you. That's why we're launching new cashback rewards for gas when you pay with Lyft Direct. We've got savings coming to EV drivers to learn more about what's coming up. And as you can see in the other screenshot next to it, they are trying to promote the up to 7% back on gas for top drivers. They are literally making this a tier system. So the people that cherry pick, you guys aren't going to get any of this stuff. And think about it like this. If you take 10 to 20 trips a day, even at 10 trips, that's $5.50 that you would have gotten with the fuel surcharge if they left it to get you a couple gallons of gas, right? Depending on where you're at, less than 2, around 2 in my area, right? And they're trying to pawn it off where they get something out of it as well on a credit card. So yeah, not cool, but it's happening. Uber and Lyft's final numbers. As you can see, I took screenshots based off of Uber on the left and Lyft on the right for my Chattanooga area. I took the rate cards, and literally it is showing base fare for both 75 cents. And the per minute and per mile is exactly the same. I mean, 68.25 cents per mile and 11.25 cents per minute. That is literally the exact same on both companies. This is how they compete because one does it, the other one's going to do it exactly the same. They're not going to go up or down, right? Um, Uber has a wait time. I don't see a wait time on Lyft, but there are cancellation fees. Uber is variable. Lyft has a $2 cancel minimum up to a $15 maximum. And there really is no difference. They are literally the same when it comes to pay in my area. Now, in terms of the final numbers that I have done in 3 weeks, as you can see, the Uber pay, I only did it for the 1 week, August 22nd to the 29th, made $532.49. I showed that to you on the part 3 slide. On Lyft's, I showed you on the part 4 slide, 1476 with a bonus adjustment because I had a $2,000 bonus guarantee. I gave you both with bonus and without, but the combined is where you really need to look. I ended up going 2,591 total miles between both platforms in 3 weeks. Starting miles 117,500, ending miles 120,91. Total hours driven 98.46, which ended up being close to 33 hours per week. Miles driven 2,591 total miles, 863 miles a week for 3 weeks. Total trips 228 trips in 3 weeks and 76 per week average. Total pay, now this is the key here. With the bonus, I ended up getting $2,800.64 in 3 weeks between Uber and Lyft. $9.54 a week, which is pretty good in my area, right? But if you remove the guarantee, that drops to $2,009, and that'd be $669.70 a week without the guarantee, right? So that's a big difference having that guarantee on there. And I know a lot of you are saying, well, yeah, I don't do it unless there's bonuses or guarantees in play. I fully agree with you all that say that because the proof is in the numbers, okay? I literally lost about a third of my income by not having that guarantee, close to a third. Now, with the bonus per hour, as you can see, 29.09 with the bonus per hour, $1.11 per mile, and this is combined, and $12.56 per trip, which is decent. You get over the dollar a mile that we all strive to hope for, and in my area that's more spread out, that's a win. But without that bonus, folks, okay, it drops down to $20.41 from the $29. It drops to 78 cents from the $1.11 for per mile, and the trips go from 12.56 down to 8.81, and this is combined with Uber and Lyft. Okay, I mean, you can't make this up. They know what they're doing. They're being very competitive, based off of themselves. Uber to Lyft, Lyft to Uber. You're talking 21 versus 20, 76 cents versus 78 cents, and 9.18 versus 8.69. It's pretty close. Uber does pay slightly more, but Lyft, I'll talk about it later, has their own pros as well, their strengths. So here are my expenses, okay? Now, I did a dumbed down expense list for you all, okay? Because remember, I bought my own car, and as you can see in the red, I spent to get this car and to get everything done, whether it was the purchase itself for $5,200, the car sales tax of $493 because I have to pay a sales tax of 9.25% in my state. Whenever you purchase a used car from a private individual, it is considered a sale. So I'd pay $493 in sales tax. I also did the pre-buyer inspection at my local Nissan dealership that I've used for years since I had my Q. It cost $100 plus the tax, $109.12. Car maintenance, I did the I did the tune-up, I should say, the tire change, brand new tires, and auto tire alignment, wheel alignment, right? That came up to $915. Bought an Amazon dash cam, $83. Gas for the month of August was $117.74, but remember, I only did it starting on the 29th of August, and I still spent $117 for what, 3 days? 2 days? Yeah. And of course, a 6-month insurance of $198.78 for a used car of a 2009 Honda Civic. So, also in September, as you can see, gas until from, I guess, September 1st to September 11th, because I took my car to the body shop to get it worked on because I wanted it to look nicer. I chose to do that. It was perfectly drivable, but the old owner had issues with the vehicle, so I wanted it like looking brand new. That cost has not been added yet. But gas, $205.66, okay? And that is literally about a week's worth of time of driving, okay? Car expenses, $100, right? Just for getting stuff for the car. That actually was, I got it interior cleaned by a carpet cleaner because I wanted it to look good on the inside too. Car maintenance, $19.80. That it actually was close to about $50, but I had like a coupon and whatnot, so it only became $19.80 for an oil change. Health insurance, I'm going to start paying my own health insurance of $212 a month using the Affordable Care Act health insurance, because as you know, independent contractors do not get any sort of health insurance through Uber or Lyft. They tell you to go there, okay? Now, that being said, remember I made $2,864.25 in 3 weeks. Sounds good and all, but it does not include the Social Security taxes, the quarterly taxes that all drivers must pay unless you want to pay it at the end of the year by April 15th, right? You will have to pay your own taxes. So part of that money has to go to that. So everything I have said, right? Yeah, it looks like I spent $7,760 for everything so far on expenses. That's the car purchase, the tax, the every maintenance. the dash cams, everything, insurances, car and health insurance, everything so far, I have spent $7,760. But if you do decide to use your own vehicle, a lot of those expenses are not going to be on your side. Okay? You will only have to worry about just gas and car maintenance, right? So even with that, I dumbed it down to just doing gas only. How much I have spent on gas in 3 weeks. And that figure was $323.40, which equals 11.3% of my income that I made. So after just taking gas only away, I made a profit of $2,540.85. But again, you can't think that that is free money. You have taxes you're going to have to pay. You're going to have car maintenance. You're going to have to do continual oil changes with the high number of miles that you're going to be doing. Now, some people like Faith from Dash or Pass, she does her own oil, right? So you're just going to have to buy the oil and the oil filter, and you can just do it yourself and save on the labor, right? But in reality, it's still an expense. If you want to save on the labor, yeah, you can do that. But it's still an expense on getting the oil filter, oil wrench, whatever you don't have, right? Anything else is all on you. Okay? So, is that worth doing for 2,800 miles? Is it based off of what I had to drive, right, to get the amount of money that I made, right? I don't know. It depends on you. But I personally bought this vehicle solely for miles, so I wouldn't have to use my own personal vehicle, the main car. This is strictly for Uber, for the Honda Civic. Now, benefits and perks and the problems. I'm going to go with the problems first here. As I told you on the earlier parts, on the Lyft system at least, there's an advisor that keeps contacting me via text. He states he'll call. He has yet to call, though. He stated, when I told him about this issue, that there is nothing they can do to prevent the system from sending a driver to an area where you will not get any ride requests if you go to a dead area like I do, right? So the system only cares about the pickup and the drop off of the customer's request. They don't take driver situations into account, folks. As you can see on the first screenshot here, missing requirements to drive here. You're missing some required documents to drive in northern Georgia. Check out the requirements for this region, then contact support to switch regions. Now, for my requirement, Georgia does not allow any vehicles older than 2010 vehicles. For Tennessee, they don't care. I have a 2009. I can drive in Tennessee all day, every day, for now. But in Georgia, because if I cross that border, because it's GPS, they know exactly where you are, right? I will get that notification. It then, on the second slide, will put me offline once I drop the rider off in that state. And then it keeps putting on the third slide this notification over and over and over again. Missing requirements to drive here. It just happens because that state has a 2010 vehicle requirement. And after pleading with them, please do not send me any requests from riders that are going into Georgia. As I stated earlier, they either won't or can't do anything about it. And if you do happen to cancel, once you get to the pickup location, you ask the passenger, hey, where am I dropping you off to? Because remember, I'm a platinum driver. Even I don't exactly know where they're getting dropped off at, because, and I'll go over this in the tiers, you only get bare minimum information on drop off. That's it. So if I cancel, which I did on Uber, I found out that one person was going 73 miles away to Cartersville, Georgia from Chattanooga's airport. I politely stated, well, unfortunately, I will have to cancel this request. And guess what? I got dinged for it. Because why? Uber and Lyft does not give you specific drop-off information, and that is a major problem. So here are the Uber Pro perks and the benefits. As you can see on the left, blue is the starter, and you get the bare minimum of rewards. Gold, you need 1,000 points, 3% cancellation rate, and a 4.7 driver rating. Then platinum, or is it diamond and platinum? I'm thinking it's platinum. Then it's 1,800 points, 3% cancellation rate with a 4.7 driver rating. And then finally, the top tier diamond, 2,800 points, 3% cancellation rating with a 4.7 driver rating. It's basically everything's the same, except you just have to drive more to get more points accumulated to get to the higher tiers. Now, based on my research, if you look on the right side of the slide, these benefits aren't really all that great, even at the higher tiers. Now, again, I'm a newer rideshare driver. I don't know every single facet of these benefits, okay? But if you look at blue, fuel discount, okay, free food with express coffee, hooray. Super cheap auto discounts, but I found out you have to go through a particular vendor in order to get those discounts. Bridgestone select discounted tires, that's at least something, but Bridgestones are not cheap either. Partner support, yay. 24/7 support, yay. Discounted business support services like AirTax, QuickBooks, Optus, okay. I guess that kind of helps if you don't do your own taxes, right? So yeah, I mean, partner support and 24/7 support, I would hope you would get that anyway. So whoop-diddy-do. Now, in gold, you get accident replacement vehicles and see trip duration and direction. Now, here's the thing. Remember I said on Lyft, they have that as well? Well, I'll talk to you about that when I get to the Lyft portion. Now, Platinum adds priority airport rematch, and Diamond adds exclusive Diamond support. I'm going to go on a limb here, and in the comment section for all you veteran Uber drivers that are Diamond level, is it really that big a deal to get faster phone access? I'm assuming, expecting that that's what that is. Instead of going through normal customer support through Uber, you get the tier 2 support. But again, I'm spitballing here. I really don't know. So leave a comment below and let me know what exclusive Diamond support really means. So if you heard me read all these rewards, the only thing that really matters to us is fuel discounts and seeing some, quote unquote, some more trip duration and direction. Everything else is secondary. Maybe the tires on Uber, okay. Maybe the discounted auto services, right? But other than that, it really isn't that big a deal. Accident replacement vehicles, yeah, if you get in an accident, but hopefully none of us will, right? So anyway, benefits and perks for Lyft. Now, here's the thing. Uber had their way of doing it, right? 4.7 and, you know, so many points and all that, right? Well, Lyft does it a little different. You need minimum points varies by market, right? And the points basically is a system where it adds everything together. It isn't just acceptance rate, cancellation rate, rating. It all is a amalgamation of all combining those scores to get you the points, right? And the score, minimum driving score. That's what I meant. For the score, you need 60 for silver, 80 for gold, 80 for platinum. Silver, gold, platinum. There is no diamond in here, right? Now, these rewards are a little better than Uber's in a sense where it actually means something. Extra daily uses of destination mode. You get 2 to start, 3 for gold, 4 for platinum, because you get, you know, extra uses. So you start off with 2, you get 1 more, which makes 3 for gold, 2 more, which makes 4 for platinum. Destination mode is actually pretty awesome, and here's why. I just happened on it, read up on it, and I was thinking, okay, so let's say you get a trip request that starts in your area, but it wants to take you 15, 20 minutes outside of the area you want to be in, let's say to the airport or somewhere far off, right? And they tend to keep you out where they send you, right? Well, with destination mode, there's two modes. There's to get you back to where you want to go, and they will only send you trip requests that head in that direction when you activate it, or they have what's called a, ending time feature in destination mode too. So let's say you want to stop driving at a certain time. Well, you basically put down the alarm clock of setting the time when you want to end your working on Lyft or Uber your trips, right? You set that time and they will end your time right there. That's it. So I like the destination mode option 1, where if they send you out far, it'll only give you trips going back to your destination of where you want it to be, like in my area downtown. That's awesome, because then it won't just keep sending you further and further and further away. So Uber, to my knowledge, does not have that. Now, here's the thing too. See trip details before accepting rides. Now, like Uber, from what I was told through some comments from the earlier parts, you don't really see the actual drop-off destination. You don't see the address. You don't see anything like that. All you see, at least with Lyft, you get time and you get direction. Okay, so let's say I pick up a rider at the airport, right? The only thing it'll tell you when you actually get the trip information to go to the pickup. So that's like you're starting the day, you get a ping request, ride request. It literally tells you where to pick up at, and under that, it tells you direction after pickup, like southwest, southeast, northwest, northeast, southeast, southwest, the direction and the time it will take to get to the destination drop-off location. Do you see a problem with that? The problem is that, yeah, you get some information of which direction they're going, but the time factor could mean it literally say like 20 minutes, to destination or drop-off location, right? 20 minutes could either be 5 miles or less if there's heavy traffic, or if there's no traffic, it could literally be 20 to 25 miles, going 60, 65 miles on the freeway. So does it really help? Sure, if you basically say, well, any information is better than no information, it gives you a direction. But the time, it could be like literally 20 minutes could be 5 miles, 6 miles, 7 miles, or it literally could be 20 plus miles. We don't know. Full disclosure is really needed in a job like this. And here, 24/7 all-state roadside assistance. Silver, it's discounted. Don't get that. Okay. Gold, it's discounted. Actually, I'm sorry. Silver, you get it. Gold, you get it. And it's discounted. But platinum, it's free. That's a huge, thing right there. But you may already have that on your own insurance that you have. You may have roadside assistance. So you may or may not need it unless you're platinum. Now, save on auto maintenance and repairs with OpenBay. Same thing Uber had. Save on tax services with TurboTax Self-Employed. Up to 25% off on silver and gold, 50% off on platinum. Save on online language learning with Mango Languages. Okay, I guess. Cashback with Lyft Direct available on 9/28. They've already factored it in because they are removing the 55 cents for every trip, which stinks. So they're kind of forcing you to go on Lyft Direct so they can get a kickback on it. Yeah, again, not cool. So, will I stay or will I go knowing the facts? As of now, it's a job. You're literally a glorified taxi driver with you being your own boss. Work when you want, for as long as you want, right? The benefits are, at best, quote unquote, okay. But most things are things that a regular person would it be really anything they really care about? My answer, no. And by taking away the driver's fuel surcharge of 55 cents, which makes it even worse to stay on this job. I mean, they really need to give full information instead of putting duration and direction behind a tier wall. I mean, that's just nonsense in my opinion. Because at the end of the day, a driver's only concern is making a profit and controlling your expenses. That's how we make money. That's what an independent contractor really is all about. But of course, they're always going to say, well, we got to put ourselves and the passenger or the rider first, right? Fair point. But are you putting a passenger in a good situation when we still can cancel upon finding out where they're actually going? That's just going to tick them off even more. Think about it. Like what I had to do with my customer on Uber. I drove 13 miles from downtown to the passenger at that airport, right? Chattanooga Airport. Okay, I used my own gas and time, only to find out that I asked her, hey, I always ask at airports, where are you going? Because it does not tell me where you're going, exactly where you're going, right? She said Cartersville, Georgia, which is 73 miles away. I literally said, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to take you to your location because I can't drive in Georgia with Lyft. So, whose fault is that? It's the companies because they're not showing us the information that we need. In my market, at least. Okay, I always state I'm basing my observations on my own market. Okay, so whose fault is this? It's the companies. They're saying that they are trying to prevent wait times for customers and riders, right? But by doing these games, if we cancel, it's going to even make them even more upset because they're going to have to get a different driver after wasting the 15 minutes it took for me to get there. Yeah. So at this point, it's a toss-up. Unless they change the rules, we are taking a chance. And we get punished for canceling. So they're, in fact, instead of us being our own bosses, they are literally forcing us to, if you're on the fence of your cancellation rate being on the fence before they deactivate you, you would be forced to take that 73-mile ride. How fair is that? That's one of the reasons I quit DoorDash, because I hated their system of forcing you with these ratings and with these cancellations and with all, that is not being an independent contractor, folks. So, my final thoughts. I'm going to give it some more time to figure it out because I need to make sure I can make money based off the lack of fuel, surcharges now going forward at the end of the month. The high fuel cost still because it's still over $3 a gallon in my area, and I know other areas are closer to $5. And I still, at the very least, will have to pay off my $7,000 initial used car cost, right? And hopefully pay that off in maybe 3 months. So in terms of pay without bonuses or guarantees, I would put Uber over Lyft based on my numbers. But based on overall fairness, I would put Lyft over Uber only because they don't penalize you yet for canceling add-on trips while on an active one. That's the only difference. I would put, if they didn't have that on Lyft, I would put Uber over Lyft on both categories, on fairness and on pay. Because quite frankly, from what I've seen, unless they're out-of-towners and not locals, in my area, I barely get tips. And my driver rating on Lyft is a perfect 5.0. With 180 trips, it's a 5.0. On Uber, it's a 4.91 because one person, for God knows what, gave me a 1-star rating out of all the trips I did. I think I did like 45 trips no, I'm sorry, wait. It was somewhere around there, about 45. So anyway, those are my final thoughts. This was the longest video in the series because I had a lot to give you. 30 minutes, so I will end it here. Thank you all for watching the presentation, and hopefully you gained some insights and knowledge into how rideshare works, because for me, as a food delivery driver for over 4 years, I know I learned something. And let's see what I end up doing after all this. And hopefully the rules will change, because I heard from some commenters that in their markets they do get full information. So hopefully it changes for the better. Take care, everyone, and have a great day.